What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bianconerizonechannel Zone for another episode of the midday show where we are going to talk about certain players who could leave certainly at the end of the season, but also maybe in the summer. And should we keep them? Should we let them go? We will go over the list of players because there are some very easy decisions and maybe some difficult decisions the club should be making. In the coming weeks, months, days, whatever. But before we get into it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel as always, and hit that bell notification. Now, I'm going to do this video from goalkeeper to striker, basically. So I'm going off that list. And we start with Pinsoglio because he has a contract until 23. He is a third goalkeeper on 300 a season. He is a third goalkeeper also because of the UEFA list, all those things, homegrown. I don't really care if he says so leave. I'm being completely honest. I know it's a lot of banter, but if he leaves, whatever. The Fagioli thing, when he scored and he told them to not go celebrate with the fans, that still sits wrong to me. The things sometimes he does, like maybe he's a good guy, I don't know, but like I don't really care if he stays or leaves, excuse me. But he is important for that list basically, and to be a cheap goalkeeper, third backup goalkeeper, excuse me, and being very, very, very cheap. That's basically it. You're very cheap on that list. So that's basically the reason why he's in the club, but you never know because there have been some rumors that he could be leaving. We are linked with many goalkeepers, so not certain what is going to happen this summer, but I don't really care. So that's him out of the way. Let me know in the comments what you think about Pinsoglio. Say, keep, all those things. I don't really care about him. I'm not going to lie. Then we move on to two players who have a contract until 24, but I think there are opportunities and there are obvious signs that the club wants to move on from them, and it's Bonucci and it's Rugani. It's all at the back, which is a worrying sign because they're not good. They're injury prone with Bonucci. Bonucci's injury prone. He's out a lot. He's on big money. He's aging. He's 35, and he has a contract in 24. I think the club will do an effort to get him out of the club. Maybe agree on things that he leaves. Rugani, it's obvious the club wants him out, but he's on 3.5 million a season. Who the hell is gonna pay that for what he puts out there as a product? That's not 3.5 million worth of performances he's giving us. So it's very difficult. If Rugani is gonna leave, it's gonna be a loan deal. I don't believe any defender is gonna leave in January for obvious reasons because of injuries. But in the summer, one of them is gonna leave, and one of them should leave because we need money. We need money, and we need, obviously, better players. Much better players, because at this team, you only have Bremer. Yes, Danilo is slotting in that position if we play with a back three. Bonucci's never fit. Rugani, I don't know, when he plays, I think he's very soft at times. And it's just not good enough. And then you have Gatti, of course, who he needs to, which is, I don't want to say it was weird, but like he is 24. I think people feel like he's not a kid. He's not old, but he's 24 already. And there are flashes or there are signs that he's actually a very good defender. Like he can do a job. But I've seen almost every game, and in every game he has a blackout. I cannot recall a game where he was clean for 90 minutes. And with a blackout, I mean a big error. Which my fear is he will never get out of his game completely. So I'm not certain about him. I think he's a good squad player. He could be a good squad player. He's on cheap money. So I'm okay with that again. But we need defenders. Rugani and Bonucci are not going to cut it. Then we move on to Sciglio. Deal until 25. Nobody knows. I don't think even he knows why he got that deal. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't think we can sell him. I have no idea who's going to take him on. My hope is that we move on from him, but I cannot believe we gave him a contract until 25. That's absolutely ridiculous that we did that. You can only hope and pray at this point that he's out, because 1.5 mil or like whatever he's on, it's still stealing a living because he's never fit, and even when he plays, I don't know what he gives us. Like it's just flat. It's just basic. Like I don't get it. I'm so confused. I cannot believe that he has a deal with the club until 25. It's ridiculous. Like it's absolutely ridiculous. Maybe the 1.5 mil a season is easier to move on to a Serie A team than, of course, Rugani's 3.5 mil. But like it's still a thing you need to force with any team because of the long-term deal. Like I don't get it. I absolutely don't get it why we gave him the deal. Like it's one of the weirdest thing we have done in a list of very weird things the last couple of 3 years. It's up there. It's absolutely up there. But let's see. You never know. Alexandro gone. He's not having his worst season, but it's done. It's time to move on. He's 31. You wouldn't say that. Like he plays like a guy who's 36 and completely broken down. He's only 31, but you know his peak is gone. He's on big wages. It's time to move on. Thanks for his services, I would say. He was one of the best in 2017, up there, top 3 in my opinion. It was unbelievable. And then he just, stepped off a cliff. And we run him into the ground. We played him a lot. We played him so many games. We played him. And it's sad the way it ended because I think everybody loved him at some point. But, like, it's becoming a disaster. Not this season, but previous seasons. It's bad, It's not what we need. So he's a free agent. Let him walk. Then Danilo, 24. He's going to get a new deal. There are talks about 26. I don't want that. Again, Danilo, also 31. If you're going to give him a new deal, it needs to be cheaper. And I think it's just need to be 25. And that's basically it. Plus an option the club can maybe use. But, like, just play it safe. Don't go long term if you want to. I get that you cannot replace everyone. I understand that, but don't go 26 or 25, 7 like there were talks. Like, don't do that. Just do 25 plus an option maybe to bridge a gap, but at a cheaper wage because he's not worth 4.5 mil. And I have nothing against Danilo. I think he's a very good leader, even though it's sometimes very corny or like repetitive what he says. But like he's not the biggest issue at the club. But the biggest issue would be a long-term deal on the same money. That's just my opinion. But like playing wise, of course he's not one of the best. But like he can do a job in multiple positions, fill in, for injured players. Excuse me. So I'm fine with that if it's not a long-term deal on big-time money because I don't want to get stuck in a situation we already know that happened so many times at us. So that's that. Then we move on to Paredes. He's gone. He's gone. This far, it's been a flop. Injured, in and out of the lineup. Not even in anymore. Just injury out of the lineup. Not sure how he will return. Not sure what to expect from him in January. Like, will he pick up? Will he perform? Will he do anything useful for us? Not sure. Don't have high hopes for it. So yeah, he's gone. He's back to PSG. He's alone. According to sources, it's not an obligation to buy. It would be an obligation if we would have proceeded to the next round in the Champions League, which is sad that we didn't. Now I'm talking about it. Quick reminder, we played Europa League. But it's not an obligation, so I think he's gone. There's no sign that says keep him. He's on 7 mil also, which is out of this world. So he's gone. Then we move on to McKennie, who has a deal until 25. So it's not a decision the club should be making, like, forced. But I think he's at the top of the list in terms of if an offer comes in, like, the club will be like, yeah. And I do believe an offer will come in. But I'm not sure the club is going to let him go in January because there are no links that we are in for a midfielder. So I think it's something for the summer, but I do believe he's going to leave at the end of the season. I actually believe that. People know what I think about McKennie. I don't think he's horrible, I think he's very basic in certain things. I know what he's good at, but what he's good at, if we play a certain way or we're not playing very dominant, it's very frustrating to watch him play. That's just my opinion. If somebody offers 30 mil, I'm gonna say take it and run with it. I'm not saying he's gonna flop elsewhere, but I just don't see it. But I don't think he's gonna leave in January because there are no links. Again, things can change really quickly. There were no links with Vlahovic, and then out of nowhere we signed Vlahovic different times now because of obvious reasons. What's happening around the club, but I do believe he's gonna stay until the summer, and then I think probably he will get sold. Then Rabiot, I think that's very obvious. He's gone. Great season this far, but what about the last 3 years? The previous 3 years, he's already on too much money. He's probably gonna ask for more, and that's it. It's simple. It's very clear. He's out of the club. Good luck to him, and I agree. Like he's not worth that money. Even if the way he's playing now, it's still not worth that money. So that's that. Then we move on to Cuadrado, a guy who gave the club a lot. You know, I always liked him, and I don't hate him, but he's just frustrated to watch the last year and a half. Like, ever since that November international break from last season when he came back, it just, again, like Alexandro stepped off a cliff. Like, it's frustrating to watch. He doesn't take on his man. When he does, he loses the ball. It's sideways. It's slowing down the play. It's making horrible decisions on the ball. It's just, it's done. And I have nothing against Cuadrado. He's 34. I always liked him. He was clutch. One of the clutchest player I've seen at the club in recent memories. Big time player. Big game player. But it's done. It's over. I saw some rumors that we might give him a new deal on cheaper money. Don't do that. Just move on. Enough of the sentiment. It's done. So he's gone. I think everybody would agree with that. I think everybody believes that he's gone. I think that's the general feeling in and around the club. Then we move on to Di Maria, who I you know what it is? I agree with a lot of people. I don't agree that he's not good. I think he's one of the best players I've seen play ever. Like, he's very underrated. I think everybody saw that World Cup. It was unbelievable. Like, his skills on the ball, his just footballing ability, like even off the ball, the runs he makes, it's unbelievable. But I agree with people saying, but he's never fit. I agree 100%. Like, he's never fit. He has been very decisive for us in certain games not. Not sure how he will return from the World Cup. Will he be motivated? I believe so. Like, why not? But some might say he never returns. He retires. You never know. I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. But can he stay fit? If he can stay fit, he will be vital for the second part of the season. If he can stay fit. With him and Chiesa on that wing and Vlahovic up top, it could be very decisive. Everybody saw what he still can do. Like, he's... let me see. He's 34. And what he still does it's unbelievable. He's one of my favorite players who I even watched when he was not at Juve. I always wanted him. Again, not at this at this stage on a free agent, I still would have took him. Like, early stages, fantastic player, but he's gone in the summer. People might say now in January. Let's see. I don't think so, but he's gone anyway in 23. Let's hope he stays, or let's hope he shows up. Especially stay injury free. I think that's the most important thing. Stay injury free, because I think then at that point he can help us a lot, to be honest. Then we move on to Caio Jorge. Contract until 26. I think he will get loaned out. Just quickly, I think he should get loaned out. I don't think he will ever play for the club, if I'm being completely honest. Moise Kean, 23 thus far, but I'm not certain. I think if we buy him, it's an automatic renewal. If we buy them outright, it's an automatic renewal until 25, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or 26. But anyway, with Kean, we paid a lot of money for him, and he's not worth that money. It's that simple. I think that's what everybody... If we paid 50 mil for him to get him back, I think everybody would have been more relaxed with it, But we are paying a lot of money to get him because it's an obligation at a certain point, up to 35 mil at least in total with bonuses. So it's a lot of money. contract until 23. So it's what's gonna happen with him. There are rumors, Lazio and Roma and all those teams. I think as long as Allegri stays, he stays. If Allegri's gone, everything is on the table. Excuse me. Like a sale can happen very easily, even because I think he will push for it at that point. Ever since he returned, it's not been great. It's been very poor. He had a good month, and credit to him because he had that good month when he needed to step up. But other than that, it's been very up and down. He said that he wasn't with his mind last season. He credited Allegri for still believing in him, which Allegri obviously does. So he picked it up towards the end of the 22 games before the World Cup. But if an offer comes in, I will take it. I'm not gonna lie. Especially for that price. If you can recoup some money. Again, if it was 15 mil and it was on 2.5, I would be like, yeah, I don't really care. Like, be the backup, being around the club. I want better. It needs to be better. But I get that we cannot have 20 star players. We're not that club. So I understand that. But I might, let me know in the comments, because I think that's one for a debate. Because I think, I'm pretty sure a lot of people do like Keane and do want him to stay and succeed. I want him to succeed at the club, but it's, he's very frustrating to watch at times. Very, very frustrating. So let's see. But I think if an offer comes in, the club would think about it. I think they would, and why not? Why not? Like, he's not one of those players where you're like, oh no offers, we don't listen to anything. He's not that type of guy. And then we end it with Milik, who is on loan until 23, the summer of 23. But we have a buy option for around 7 mil, which is very cheap in today's market. It is very cheap. He's 28 only, which is, I don't say weird, but like people might think he's a bit older, 30. He's 28. 7 mil is very, very cheap for a backup. Now, if you moved on a Keane, then 7 mil for a backup is, for me, a no-brainer, because we don't have a striker coming up through the ranks that we're like, keep him as a backup. We don't really have that. I don't think Italy have that. Maybe Scamacca, people might say, Raspadori if you play him up top, but like just a player coming through the ranks where like, that's it. We don't have that. So 7 mil is something to seriously consider because it's cheap and you need a backup. Forget about what's going to happen with Vlahovic. Is he going to leave? Is he going to stay? Let's say he's going to stay. You do need a backup. And I think if you get the option, or the club gets the option to keep Milik and get money for Keane, they will do that. Now, that's a question I will ask you. Let me know in the comments. If you have an option to have Keane as your backup or Milik, who do you take? First of all, purely on technical abilities, who do you think? I'll take Milik or I take Keane because I think he's better in this and this. And the second part is the financial situation. 7 mil or getting some of the money back for Keane if possible. Because I think that's something the club is also keeping in mind. But Milik 7 mil, I think he's done all right. I think in a team that is well oiled, or like a team that's doing very well, he will get his goals as a backup when you start him if the team is doing well, which we expect to be doing in the coming. We were expecting to do that this season, but moving forward, we're expecting to do that. I think he will get goals in that type of team. He's done it with us in a very poor side when we're still not amazing, but we were really struggling, and he was getting goals. Then the ironic side is when we were playing a bit better, he was not getting goals. But put that aside, 7 mil in today's market, it's not a lot. And do I want better? 100%. Obviously, I want other players, but like it's not realistic. So that's something we need to keep in mind on. I'm not saying keep Milik and give him a deal until 27. Like, I'm not saying that, but I think that's something up for debate. Also, because you see the list I named, we are going to lose a lot of players, or the club wants to get out a lot of players. You cannot replace everyone. So you're going to need to make decisions in terms of, we're going to keep Keane, or we're even going to keep Bonucci for another year until the end of the contract for obvious reasons. Like money, replacing 10 players almost, or whatever you want to say, 6, even 6. It's not easy. But let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think we're gonna do something in January? I still believe something is gonna happen because like I'm not gonna get off that train. I said it for months now or like weeks. I don't know what it is. I have no clue what it could be, but I do believe something will happen in or out. But let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments who you will keep, why, and who you will sell or like let walk basically for free, and also why. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel as always, hit that bell notification, and we will see you back tonight. Ciao, guys.